Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Horton Hill. It's Scott and Mrs. Horton Hill, also known as
Farah.
Farah's along with me this evening. So it's been a interesting week here. Had some issues with a finger, and went to get it looked at there on Monday, and ended up having to be put in the hospital and have a little bit of surgery on a finger. So got out of the hospital yesterday. Had some IV antibiotics and. Hopefully on the way to getting better. So again, an interesting week so far. So tonight I didn't have any video of anything outside going on this week just because of what was going on. So I was going to put something together here just to kind of talk about how we ended up here 3 years ago, and kind of what the plans are for 2024 and what we're going to try to focus on outside. So the last 3 years, what was it? Was it January? Is that right? January of
2019.
December of 2019. January of 20 is when we bought the place here, and have kind of focused on the house so far and getting it up in shape. There was a few little projects we've done outside. We did get some chickens, and I think our chickens are broken right now. They're not
broken.
They are broken. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So
it's winter.
It is winter.
They always slack off in the winter.
They're broken.
The majority of them are molting, so
Yeah.
they have stopped laying for the time being.
Yeah, they're broken. So we'll probably end up hopefully in the spring here they'll or once we start getting some more light they'll be unbroken. But right now they're not producing. We're buying eggs at the at the store and feeding broken chickens. So
Yes.
it's that's been tough. But one of the other things we did the last few years, we got Farah's got a couple colonies of bees, right? Mm-hmm. So had some good experiences with those and some bad experiences both. So she's still learning on those, right? And
Yeah. First year we had our first colony died in the winter. We had a cold snap that took them out. Well, it was early spring, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the second set seemed to be doing okay thus far. We've had a pretty mild start to late fall, early winter, so it's not been too bad so far. So hopefully they winter in well and survive to spring.
Right. Yeah. So that was one of them, and then the other one we did a small garden raised bed thing. Had a small little greenhouse, kind of like a small Harbor Freight type greenhouse that was given to us and that we put together, and Farrah started really everything.
Last 2 years.
Yeah, the last 2 years here. So we got a cat getting ready to get in there. Go. So she started everything from seed. Really had a lot of good experiences with seed starting, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
good success.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard at all, and I think it was just the timing. And then the greenhouse we have is pretty small, so you can outgrow the space pretty quickly if you don't time everything right to transplant outside when it's time to. So
right.
that was a big challenge there. And
What was the other challenge this year after, right after the seeds it was time to about put them in the beds there? What happened when that time came? Come on, I know you know it.
I don't know.
She broke her ankle.
Oh, I did. Yes, I forgot about that.
So the gardening thing.
Oh, that was a bad day.
Yeah,
that was a bad day. Yeah.
The gardening thing kind of it was good, and then it got bad, and then once
it just didn't ever pick back up. Really, it was half-hearted all season.
Yep. So that kind of wrapped up some of the challenges that we have had here in 23 so far. So looking forward to 24. There's a few projects. Again, we try not to take a whole lot on, so when we do some things, we get some decent results, right? So, again, the primary focus of the last few years has been the house and getting it up in shape. And again, it's not that it was in terrible shape, it was just outdated. So, got a little bit of work left to do downstairs. We got some flooring and trying to put another bedroom in downstairs. and then looking outside. So I need to build some type of wood structure, maybe a wood shed, you know, to hold. I'd like to be able to hold 5 or 6 cords of wood, and then still be able to use our IBC tote baskets and stuff for some other stuff, and get it drying. Maybe try to sell a little bit of firewood next year, and again, not bulk sales, but maybe bundle type stuff. And then the greenhouse. So talked about this small Harbor Freight greenhouse that we have, and it's done its job, right, for the first few years.
It served a good purpose.
Yeah, we'd like to think about getting something bigger. So I don't know if that's going to be something that we take on to try to build, or if it's going to be something that gets delivered, or a kit type thing. So we got to figure that out here soon, so we can get that coming. And then the other one, and you know, Farrah and I talked about this at dinner the other night, and I don't know how this all pans out, but you know, we really need to think about some type of estate plan, right? So what does this look like for us? You know, if something happens to us, and how are we going to, I guess, manage that, or have somebody manage that for us if something would happen. So that's something we've been putting off for probably too long. You know, you don't really like to think about it too much, but it is a reality. So we're going to try to get that going. You know, got a grandchild that's going to be born here sometime early January, right?
Late December, early January.
Yep. So looking forward to that, and you know, that's part of it too, right? So we got that going on, and you know, our daughter and son-in-law live, they're about an hour and a half away from us, right? So we'll have a lot of travel time, and I'm sure Farrah will be down there more than I am. But we hope to be able to share some of that joy with you all, and looking forward to our first grandchild. So we're going to try to get some things done here on the property, and then focus on the grandchild too. So going to be an interesting year. Hope you stick along with us, and see some of the improvements that we're going to make around here. Again, we're about 90 acres, right? Is what we have. And when we bought this place, you know, we had looked at some other properties, and it took we probably looked for. We built a house in, what year was that? 2006, I guess.
Yeah.
We built a house. It was on the kind of the west side of Evansville, so it was about 25 miles from where we're at now. Built that house, but you know, that was kind of we moved out of our starter home, and then I guess you'd say a starter home, and then actually built that house, and it was in a small cul-de-sac subdivision thing. We had about an acre of property somewhere in there, and even then, it was a very nice home. We built a kind of a custom home, and it just didn't feel like probably where we wanted to be long term, right? So,
well, and I think a lot of personal things with, you know, my mom passing away, and just changed the dynamic of our family, and she was a lot of help for our kids at the time, and so it kind of just changed things for us to where it kind of accelerated any plans we had at the time for moving. So
right. So we moved out of that house, and then we actually bought the house that I grew up in from my dad, and lived there 4 or 5 years. And at that point, we kind of started looking for some other properties, even just after we bought that place from him, and looked at a few and gotten a deal on one. It was about 40 acres, and it just didn't work out. And we kind of, I guess, I don't want to say give up, but kind of just put it in the back of our mind, and kind of forgot about it. And for some reason, I got on this property was actually listed by Whitetail Properties that we're in now, and for some reason, I got on their website, and this had popped up, and I said something to Farrah, and she was like, "Well, let's maybe go look at it," right? And it was kind of one of those. I think you were maybe a little more optimistic about it than I was at first, but again, the house was built. The house was built in '88, and it was built as a retirement home for this gentleman and his wife, and they did a lot I guess, customize
A
things.
lot of weird things that we would have not otherwise done.
A lot of stuff nobody would have done, right?
True. They customized it for their needs at that time, and they were in their 60s, so and had no children at home and no family at home, living at home. So that made a big difference as to the way they designed the home and lived in the home themselves.
Yeah, so you think you're 60 years old and now you've got a hot tub in the middle of your bedroom with these pink lights that were shining down on it, and just a lot of weirdness that was done, and it took quite a few months and really years, I guess, of effort now to get the weirdness out of it. It is still a little goofy, but it fits our needs, and like I said, it's not. We have a nice home now, but it's not so much about inside and outside. It's I want Fair to be comfortable here, but it is about having the land and being able to hunt and fish and bring others up to enjoy the place. So like I said, looking to improve the property here in 24 and have a good New Year. So hopefully no broken bones, no hospital stays for cut fingers and things like that. So it should be a good year here. So you have anything else to add? So kind of still new to the YouTube thing here. So there's a subscribe button on there somewhere on our homepage there. So if you like this type of stuff and you want to see more of it, just please subscribe and leave any comments. Again, we're down in southern Indiana, kind of in that tip of Kentucky and Illinois and Indiana down here. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.